Hey, little champs. Welcome to Peaceful Whisper. Once upon a time, in a small snowy town, there lived a little girl named Ella. It was Christmas Eve, and the whole town sparkled with twinkling lights. The rooftops were covered in snow, and the air was filled with laughter and joy. In her backyard, Ella was hard at work building a snowman. She had rosy cheeks and brown curls that peeked out from under her knitted hat. Her green coat and matching mittens were dusted with snow, as she carefully placed coal for the snowman's eyes, a carrot for its nose, and pebbles for its smile. When she was done, she stepped back and admired her creation. "You're perfect," she said with a smile. Then she wrapped a bright red scarf around its neck and whispered, "I wish you could come to life, Snowy." The stars twinkled above as Ella headed inside for bed. She didn't notice the North Star shining extra brightly that night. And as its light touched the snowman, something magical happened. Snowy blinked his coal eyes open, his stick arms moved, and he looked around, his pebbly smile growing wider. Snowy was alive. Now, Snowy had never seen the world before, so everything amazed him. The glittering snow, the sparkling lights, and the warm glow coming from a nearby house. He waddled over and peeked through the frosty window. Inside, he saw a cozy room with a crackling fireplace. And there, sitting by the fire, was Ella. Snowy tapped on the window with his stick arm. "Tap, tap, tap!" Ella turned and gasped. "Snowy? Is that you?" she whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. She ran to the door and flung it open. "Ella," Snowy said, his voice full of excitement. "I'm alive! Your wish came true!" Ella couldn't believe it. She stepped outside and the two of them stood in the sparkling snow. "I knew Christmas magic was real," Ella dijo riendo. But then she frowned. "Oh no, I lost one of my mittens today. I loved that pair." Snowy patted her hand with his stick arm. "Don't worry, Ella, I'll help you find it." And so, the two friends set off into the snowy town. The moon lit up their path, and the Christmas lights twinkled like little stars. Snowy waddled beside Ella, his red scarf fluttering in the cold breeze. As they walked, Snowy looked around in amazement. There were snow angels on the ground, colorful decorations in every window, and the smell of cookies drifting through the air. "What's that?" Snowy asked, pointing with his stick arm to a family sharing cocoa by a fire pit outside their house. "That's what Christmas is all about," Ella explained. "It's about giving, sharing, and spending time with the people you love." Snowy nodded thoughtfully. He didn't fully understand, but he liked how it made him feel. Suddenly, they heard a soft sound. "Meow!" Ella and Snowy followed the sound to a narrow alley. There, under a single lantern, they found a tiny kitten. It was gray and white with big, round eyes and soft fur dusted with snow. "Oh, you poor thing," Ella said, kneeling down. The kitten shivered, curling its tail around its little body. Without thinking twice, Ella took off her red scarf and gently wrapped it around the kitten. "There, now you'll be warm." Snowy watched quietly. His coal eyes sparkled as he felt a strange warmth inside, even though he was made of snow. Was this what Ella meant by kindness? The kitten purred happily and nudged something in the snow. Ella reached down and gasped, "It's my mitten! We found it!" Snowy clapped his stick arms, and Ella laughed. "Come on," she said, holding the kitten close. "Let's go home." When they got back to Ella's house, it was warm and cozy inside. Her parents welcomed them with big smiles and mugs of cocoa. Snowy stood by the window, watching as Ella snuggled by the fire with the kitten on her lap. The Christmas tree sparkled with lights and ornaments, and everyone's laughter filled the room. Snowy didn't move, but inside, he felt something wonderful. This, he thought, must be what Christmas feels like: warm, joyful, and full of love. But as the night went on, Snowy began to feel something else. He knew his time was running out. Christmas morning was coming, and when the sun rose, his magic would fade. The next morning, the sunlight glistened on the snow outside. Ella ran to the backyard, holding the kitten in her arms. Snowy was still standing there, his red scarf now draped over the kitten. Ella's eyes filled with tears. "Goodbye, Snowy," she whispered. Snowy couldn't speak anymore, but as Ella looked down, she saw something written in the snow beside him. It said, "Thank you for showing me Christmas." "Merry Christmas, Snowy," she whispered. As she turned to go, she glanced up at the sky. The North Star twinkled faintly in the morning light, as if winking at her. And though Snowy was gone, Ella knew she would never forget her magical friend and their first Christmas together. Now, wasn't that a magical story? Sweet dreams, little one, and Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching, champs. Just don't forget to like and subscribe.